As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the small town of Maplewood, Emily sat on her porch, staring at the empty street. It had been 6 months since her best friend Sarah moved away to another state. Their laughter, shared secrets, and late-night talks felt like distant memories now, replaced by a heavy silence that lingered in the air. Emily missed Sarah deeply. They had spent countless hours together, exploring the woods behind their houses, dreaming about their futures, and supporting each other through tough times. Sarah was more than a friend. She was like a sister. But now, without her, everything felt different. The world seemed less vibrant, and even the simplest joys felt muted as she picked at the chipped paint on her porch railing. Emily's heart ached with a longing to reconnect. She wanted to reach out to Sarah, to share her life and hear about hers, but uncertainty gnawed at her. What if Sarah had moved on? What if their friendship was no longer important to her? The fear of rejection held Emily back, making it hard. To even pick up her phone, days turned into weeks, and Emily found herself trapped in a cycle of sadness. She would scroll through old pictures of their adventures, laughing at their silly faces and the memories they shared. But every time she laughed, a wave of sadness would wash over her. The distance felt like an impenetrable wall, separating them. She felt like a battle-hardened warrior, ready for a fight, but unsure of how to begin. One afternoon, Emily decided to take a walk to clear her mind. She wandered through the familiar paths of the woods they used to explore together. The trees whispered secrets in the wind, and the sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating a tapestry of light and shadow. But instead of comfort, the beauty of nature brought her more pain. Each step reminded her of Sarah, and she felt a growing loneliness as she walked. Emily's thoughts turned to how she could bridge the gap. She remembered how they used to talk about their dreams. Sarah had wanted to travel the world, while Emily dreamed of becoming a writer. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. What if she wrote Sarah a letter? A real, heartfelt letter that expressed everything she felt? It could be a way to reach out without the pressure of a phone call. That evening, Emily sat at her desk, the soft glow of a lamp illuminating the page in front of her. She took a deep breath and began to write. Her pen flowed freely as she poured her heart onto the paper, describing her days, her feelings, and how much she missed their friendship. She wrote about the little things, the way the flowers bloomed in spring, the new cafe that opened downtown, and how she often found herself wishing Sarah were there to experience it all with her. Dear Sarah, she began, I miss you more than I can say. Every time I see something beautiful or funny, I wish I could share it with you. It's hard not having you here. I hope you're doing well, and that your new place feels like home. I want to hear everything about your new adventures. As she finished the letter, a sense of relief washed over her. It felt good to express her feelings, to acknowledge the distance that had grown between them. But she still needed to send it. What if Sarah didn't respond? What if she opened it and felt overwhelmed by the memories? The doubts crept back in, but Emily pushed them aside. If she didn't try, she would never know. The next day, with the letter safely tucked in an envelope, Emily walked to the post office. Each step felt like a small victory against her fears. When she dropped the letter into the mailbox, she felt a flutter of hope. Maybe this was the first step in reconnecting. Maybe Sarah would read it and feel the same way. Days passed, and with each sunrise, Emily's anticipation grew. She checked the mailbox every day, her heart racing at the sight of it. Finally, one afternoon, she found a letter waiting for her. It was from Sarah. With trembling hands, Emily opened it and began to read. Dear Emily, it began, I can't believe how much I miss you. Your letter made me cry. I feel just as lost without you. I've been trying to make new friends, but it's not the same. I want to hear everything about your life, too. Let's plan a video call soon." As she read, tears streamed down Emily's cheeks, but this time they were tears of joy. Sarah felt the same way. The distance wasn't as insurmountable as she had imagined. They could still share their lives, even from afar. Emily quickly grabbed her phone and texted Sarah, "I'd love to. Let's set a date." The excitement bubbled within her as they planned their call. That night, as she settled in front of her computer, she felt a mix of nerves and excitement. When Sarah's face appeared on the screen, Emily's heart soared. They laughed, talked, and caught up as if no time had passed at all. In that moment, Emily realized that their friendship was not defined by distance. It was the connection they shared, the memories they created, and the love that endured despite the miles between them. She felt like a warrior who had emerged victorious from a long battle, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As they ended the call, Emily smiled, feeling a renewed sense of hope. She knew their friendship could withstand anything. No matter where life took them, they would always find a way back to each other. And with that thought, she felt unstoppable, ready to embrace whatever adventures awaited her, just like a space explorer venturing into the unknown, determined to make the universe a little brighter. In her heart, she knew that love and friendship could conquer any distance, just as a brave human could stand against the most formidable of foes. Emily was ready to face the world, armed with hope and the unwavering bond of friendship. Life in Maplewood slowly returned to a rhythm for Emily after her heartfelt video call with Sarah. Their friendship felt rekindled, yet the distance still loomed like a shadow. Emily often found herself staring out her window, longing for the days when Sarah was just a short walk away. The town felt different now, quieter and emptier, without her friends' laughter echoing through the streets. Their call, Emily was filled with hope. She and Sarah promised to talk every week, sharing their lives and dreams. However, as the days passed, Emily began to feel the familiar ache of separation creeping back in. It wasn't enough to just talk. She wanted to share experiences, to create new memories together. But how could she do that from so far away? One evening, as Emily sat on her porch, she felt a spark of determination. She had always admired Sarah's adventurous spirit, and that courage inspired her now. Emily decided it was time to take action, to bridge the gap between them with creativity and effort. She wouldn't let the distance define their friendship. Next morning, she woke up with a new plan. Instead of waiting for their weekly calls, she would send Sarah a surprise care package filled with things that reminded her of their friendship. She wanted to show Sarah that she was thinking of her, no matter the miles between them. With a smile on her face, Emily grabbed a notebook and started making a list of things to include. First, she thought of their favorite snacks, chocolate bars, and gummy bears. Then, she remembered the little inside jokes they shared. Emily decided to write a series of notes, each one filled with a memory or a funny quote from their time together. She would also add a small scrapbook, capturing moments from their past, filled with pictures and doodles that showcased their adventures. As she gathered the items, Emily felt a sense of excitement. She felt like a warrior preparing for battle, ready to fight against the loneliness that had crept in since Sarah moved away. Each item she collected reminded her of the bond they shared, fueling her determination to reconnect. After a few hours of gathering supplies, Emily sat down at her desk and began to work on the scrapbook. She flipped through her phone, selecting pictures from their many adventures hiking in the woods, their silly faces at the county fair, and their epic movie marathon nights. With each picture, she wrote captions that captured the laughter and joy of those moments. Remember this day? We got lost on the trail, but found the best ice cream afterwards. As she worked, Emily's creativity flowed. She decorated the pages with colorful stickers and drawings, turning the scrapbook into a vibrant representation of their friendship. She poured her heart into every word and illustration, imagining Sarah's smile when she opened the package. Once the scrapbook was complete, Emily carefully packed everything into a sturdy box. She filled it with the snacks, the notes, and the scrapbook, sealing it with a sense of accomplishment. This care package was more than just a collection of items. It was a message of love and connection, a reminder that distance could not diminish their friendship. On the way to the post office, Emily felt a mix of nerves and excitement. What would Sarah think? Would she appreciate the effort? As she walked, she reminded herself that the most important thing was to show Sarah she was loved and missed. This was her way of reaching out, of saying, "I'm still here and I care." After mailing the package, Emily returned home with a lighter heart. She felt like she had taken a significant step toward reconnecting with Sarah, but now she wanted to do something more. She wanted to create a way for them to share experiences, even from afar. An idea struck her like a bolt of lightning. Emily decided to start a shared journal. She would buy a beautiful notebook and send it to Sarah, inviting her to write back. They could each take turns writing entries, sharing their thoughts, dreams, and daily experiences. It would be like having a conversation on paper, a way to keep. As the leaves began to change colors and the air turned crisp with the arrival of autumn, Emily felt a renewed sense of purpose. Her shared journal with Sarah had become a lifeline, allowing them to stay connected despite the miles between them. Each entry brought laughter, tears, and a deeper understanding of each other's lives. Yet, even with the journal, Emily still felt a longing to see Sarah in person. One afternoon, while flipping through their journal, Emily stumbled upon a passage where Sarah had written, "I miss our adventures together. Remember that time we got lost in the woods and ended up at that amazing ice cream shop?" The memory brought a smile to Emily's face, but it also made her heart ache. She wanted to create new memories, not just reminisce about the past. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. What if she planned a surprise visit to see Sarah? It was a bold move, but the thought of seeing her friend filled her with excitement. Emily knew that Sarah had been feeling lonely in her new city, and a visit could be just what they needed to reconnect in a meaningful way. With her heart racing, Emily pulled out her notebook and began to make plans. First, she needed to figure out when she could go. She checked her school calendar and realized she had a long weekend coming up. Perfect. That would give her enough time to travel and spend a few days with Sarah. Next, she needed to figure out how to keep the trip a secret. Emily smiled at the challenge. She would have to be sneaky, just like a secret agent on a mission. She began to craft a plan, using her creativity to map out how she would pull off the surprise without Sarah suspecting a thing. Emily spent the next few days preparing for her trip. She packed a small suitcase with clothes and snacks, ensuring she had everything she needed for the journey. As she packed, her excitement grew. She could already imagine the look on Sarah's face when she arrived. It would be a moment of pure joy, a victory against the distance that had kept them apart for so long. On the day of her trip, Emily woke up early, her heart racing with anticipation. After a quick breakfast, she grabbed her suitcase and headed to the bus station. As she sat on the bus, she looked out the window at the passing scenery. The trees were ablaze with autumn colors, a beautiful backdrop for her adventure. She felt like a hero setting off on a quest, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. After a few hours, Emily arrived in Sarah's city. The streets were bustling with activity, filled with people and sounds that felt foreign yet exciting. She took a moment to gather her thoughts, reminding herself that this was the moment she had been waiting for. She pulled out her phone and texted Sarah, pretending to be someone else. "Hey, I'm new in town and looking for some cool places to explore. Do you have any recommendations?" Sarah texted back almost immediately. Oh, that's awesome. There are so many great spots here. I'd love to show you around. Emily's heart raced. She was one step closer to her surprise. After a bit more back and forth texting, they agreed to meet at a popular cafe in the heart of the city. Emily arrived early, her nerves bubbling with excitement. She found a cozy corner table by the window and waited, glancing at the door every few minutes. When Sarah walked in, Emily held her breath. Sarah looked different, yet the same. Her hair was longer, and she wore a bright smile, but the warmth in her eyes was unmistakable. Emily felt a surge of emotion as she stood up and waved out as soon as Sarah spotted her. Her eyes widened in disbelief. "Emily? Is that really you? Surprise!" Emily exclaimed, rushing over to hug her friend tightly. The two of them laughed and cried at the same time, overwhelmed by the joy of being together again. After they settled down at the table, they began to catch up. Emily shared stories about life back in Maplewood, while Sarah talked about her new experiences in the city. It felt as if no time had passed at all. They reminisced about their adventures, and Emily showed Sarah the scrapbook she had made. "You really did all this for me?" Sarah asked, flipping through the pages with wide eyes. "This is amazing. I can't believe how much effort you put into it." Emily shrugged, feeling a little shy. "I just wanted you to know that you're always in my heart, no matter how far apart we are." Their conversation flowed effortlessly, just like it used to. They laughed, shared secrets, and even planned a mini adventure for the weekend. "Let's explore the city like we used to explore Maplewood," Emily suggested Dot as the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the cafe. Sarah looked at Emily with gratitude. "You have no idea how much this means to me. I've been feeling a bit lost since moving here, but having you here makes everything feel brighter." Emily smiled, her heart swelling with happiness. "We're in this together, no matter the distance. We'll always find a way to support each other." The next few days were filled with laughter and adventure. They visited parks, tried new foods, and explored hidden gems in the city. Every moment felt like a treasure, a reminder that their friendship was stronger than any distance. They took pictures, made new memories, and filled their shared journal with all the experiences they had together. As the weekend came to an end, Emily felt a bittersweet ache in her heart. She knew she would have to leave soon, but she also felt a sense of accomplishment. She had fought against the sadness of separation and created something beautiful. Their friendship had not only survived, it had thrived. On the last night of her visit, Emily and Sarah sat on the rooftop of Sarah's apartment, watching the stars twinkle in the night sky. They talked about their dreams for the future, and Emily shared her desire to become a writer. "I want to write stories that inspire people, just like our friendship inspires me," she said. Sarah nodded, her eyes shining. "You can do it. You have the heart of a warrior, just like the heroes in the stories we love. You're unstoppable, Emily." Emily smiled, feeling empowered by Sarah's words. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, soaking in the beauty of the night and the strength of their bond. The next morning, as Emily packed her suitcase, she felt a mix of emotions. She was sad to leave, but hopeful for the future. She knew that this visit had strengthened their friendship, and they would continue to fight against the distance that separated them. As she hugged Sarah goodbye, Emily felt a surge of determination. "I'll always be here for you, no matter where life takes us. We're in this together." Sarah smiled, her eyes sparkling with hope. "Always." With a heart full of hope, Emily boarded the bus back home, feeling like a true hero in her own story. She had faced the distance, taken action, and fought for her friendship. And as the bus rolled away, she knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she and Sarah would always find a way to stay connected. Their friendship was a powerful force, one that could overcome anything, just like a battle-hardened warrior standing strong against the universe. Asterisk as the weeks passed after Emily's wonderful surprise visit to Sarah, life began to settle back into its normal routine. Emily returned to Maplewood, filled with memories of laughter and adventure. Yet she felt a pang of sadness each time she remembered that Sarah was still far away. The distance between them seemed impossible at times, but she held on to the hope that they could create more moments like the ones they had shared. Back in Maplewood, Emily found herself missing Sarah more than ever. The shared journal continued to be a source of comfort, and they exchanged entries filled with updates, jokes, and dreams. But as time went on, Emily began to notice a shift in their communication. Sarah's messages became less frequent, and Emily worried that her friend was slipping away again. One evening, Emily sat at her desk, staring at the blank page of their journal. She had tried to write to Sarah, but the words wouldn't come. Her heart felt heavy with uncertainty. What if Sarah was feeling overwhelmed? What if she was struggling to adjust to her new life? Emily wanted to reach out and help, but felt unsure of how to do it. Taking a deep breath, Emily decided to write a letter instead. It was more personal than a text message, and she hoped it would convey her feelings better. She poured her heart into the letter, expressing her worries and her longing to hear from Sarah. "I miss you so much," she wrote. "I hope you're okay. I'm here for you, no matter what." Once the letter was finished, Emily sealed it in an envelope and placed it in her bag. The next day, she planned to send it along with a small care package. She wanted to remind Sarah that their friendship was still strong and that she cared deeply about her. Being the following morning, Emily went to the local store to gather some items for the package. As she browsed the aisles, she thought about what Sarah might appreciate. She picked out some of their favorite snacks, a cozy blanket, and a book that they had talked about reading together. Each item felt like a piece of her heart, a way to bridge the distance that had grown between them. Once she had everything, Emily returned home and packed the box carefully. She included the letter, hoping it would bring a smile to Sarah's face. After sealing the package, she felt a surge of excitement. This was more than just a care package. It was a symbol of her love and commitment to their friendship, with determination. Emily went to the post office and sent the package off. As she watched the postal worker take it away, she felt hopeful. She had taken action, just like a warrior preparing for battle. She was fighting for her friendship, refusing to let distance take away the connection they shared. Days turned into a week. As winter arrived, Emily felt a chill in the air that matched the longing in her heart. The snow blanketed Maplewood in a soft, white layer, transforming the town into a winter wonderland. But even the beauty of the season could not lift the sadness that settled over her. She missed Sarah more than ever, especially during the holidays when everything felt so festive and joyful. The shared journal had continued to serve as a bridge between them. They exchanged stories of their daily lives, but Emily felt a growing urge to deepen their connection. She wanted to share more than just words. She wanted to create experiences, memories that would last a lifetime. One evening, as Emily sat by the window, watching snowflakes dance in the wind, an idea sparked in her mind. What if she invited Sarah to come home for the holidays? It was a bold move, but she felt it was the perfect opportunity to reconnect. They could celebrate together, bake cookies, and enjoy the warmth of friendship. With determination, Emily picked up her phone and began to text Sarah. "Hey, I have an idea. How about you come to Maplewood for the holidays? We can celebrate together like old times." She hesitated before hitting send, nervous about Sarah's response. What if she couldn't come? What if she was too busy? But Emily pushed aside her doubts and pressed the button, sending the message into the world. Minutes felt like hours as she waited for Sarah's reply. Finally, her phone buzzed. Oh my gosh, I would love that. I'll check my schedule and see if I can make it. Emily felt a rush of excitement and hope. She couldn't wait to spend time with her best friend again. They texted back and forth, planning the details of Sarah's visit. Emily felt like a child on Christmas Eve, filled with anticipation for the reunion. As the days passed, Emily prepared for Sarah's arrival. She decorated her house with twinkling lights and hung ornaments on the tree. She baked cookies, filling the kitchen with sweet, warm scents. Each task made her heart swell with joy, knowing that soon Sarah would be there to share it all. Finally, the day arrived. Emily woke up early, her heart racing with excitement. After finishing her last-minute preparations, she grabbed her coat and headed to the bus station to pick up Sarah. The cold air nipped at her cheeks, but she didn't mind. She was too busy dreaming about all the fun they would have together. The bus pulled up. Emily scanned the crowd, her heart pounding. And then she saw her Sarah, bundled in a warm coat with a big smile on her face. Emily ran towards her, laughter bubbling up inside. "You made it. I wouldn't miss it for the world," Sarah exclaimed, wrapping her arms around Emily in a tight hug. The warmth of their embrace melted away the distance that had separated them for so long. As they walked back to Emily's house, they chatted excitedly about everything that had happened since they last met. Emily felt as if no time had passed at all. Their friendship was just as strong as ever. Once they arrived home, Emily showed Sarah the decorated tree, and they spent hours reminiscing about past holidays. They laughed as they pulled out old ornaments and shared stories about each one. It felt good to be together again, creating new memories while cherishing the old ones. That evening, they baked cookies together, just like they used to. The kitchen was filled with the sweet aroma of chocolate chip cookies, and their laughter echoed off the walls. They sang along to holiday music, dancing around the kitchen as they mixed the dough. Emily felt light and carefree, her worries disappearing. With each laugh. As the week went on, they continued to enjoy the holiday spirit. They went ice skating, bundled up in warm scarves and mittens, holding hands as they glided across the ice. They visited local holiday markets, sipping hot chocolate and marveling at the lights that adorned the town. One evening, as they sat in front of the fireplace, sipping on warm drinks, Emily turned to Sarah. "I'm so glad you came. I was worried that being apart would change things, but it feels like no time has passed." Sarah smiled, her eyes glistening in the firelight. "I was worried too, but being here with you reminds me of how strong our friendship is. Distance can be hard, but it can't break us." Emily felt a surge of hope. They had faced the distance and come out stronger. Their friendship was like a fortress, built on love, trust, and shared experiences. She wanted to ensure that it continued to grow, no matter where life took them. "I've been thinking," Emily began, her heart racing with excitement. "What if we started a new project together? We could blog about our adventures, share our experiences, and inspire others. We can show that distance doesn't have to mean the end of a friendship." Sarah's face lit up at the idea. "That's amazing. We could document everything, our experiences, our travels, and our thoughts. It would be a great way to stay connected and encourage others who might be feeling alone." Emily felt a sense of purpose wash over her. This project could be a way to combine their creativity and strengthen their bond. They spent the rest of the evening brainstorming ideas, laughing and dreaming about the future. As the holiday week came to an end, Emily felt a bittersweet mix of emotions. She loved having Sarah there, but she also knew it was time for her friend to return home. On the last morning, they sat together, sipping their drinks and reflecting on their time together. "I can't believe how much fun we had," Emily said, her heart aching at the thought of saying goodbye. "I'll miss you so much." "I'll miss you too," Sarah replied, her voice soft. "But we have so much to look forward to. This is just the beginning of our new adventure." As they hugged tightly, Emily felt a wave of gratitude. Their friendship had withstood the test of time and distance, and she knew it would continue to grow. They were both warriors in their own right, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. When Sarah boarded the bus, Emily waved goodbye, feeling both sad and hopeful. She had fought to reconnect with her friend, and it had paid off in ways she never imagined. Their bond was stronger than distance, and she was excited to see where their new project would take them. On the way home, Emily thought about everything they had shared. She felt empowered by the knowledge that love and friendship could conquer any obstacle. As she walked through the door of her house, she felt a sense of peace, with a heart full of hope and determination. Emily knew that she would keep nurturing their friendship. Like a brave human standing against the universe, she felt unstoppable, ready to embrace the future with open arms. Together, she and Sarah would continue to create memories, inspire others, and show that true friendship knows no boundaries. As spring began to bloom in Maplewood, Emily felt a renewed sense of energy. The flowers were starting to blossom, and the trees were turning green again. However, even with the beauty of nature around her, she still felt a lingering sadness about the distance between her and Sarah. They had spent the holidays together, creating wonderful memories, but now they were back to their regular lives, separated by miles. Emily often found herself thinking about their plans to start a blog together. It had seemed like such a great idea during their holiday, but now it felt daunting. She wanted to inspire others and share their friendship, but she wasn't sure where to begin. The idea of writing made her nervous, and she was afraid of not doing it well. One evening, Emily sat at her desk, staring at a blank screen. She had opened the blog site, but hadn't typed a single word. The pressure to create something meaningful weighed heavily on her. What if no one reads it? She thought, what if I'm not good enough? As she sat there, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Sarah. "Hey, how's everything going? I miss you." Emily felt a surge of happiness. Talking to Sarah always lifted her spirits. "I miss you too. I've been trying to write for our blog, but I'm feeling stuck," she replied. After a moment, Sarah responded, "Don't worry about being perfect. Just write from your heart. We can do this together." Emily smiled at Sarah's encouraging words. "You're right. Maybe I just need to start with something simple." "Exactly. Let's write about our friendship and how we've stayed connected," Sarah suggested. Emily could almost hear the excitement in her friend's voice through the screen. With newfound motivation, Emily decided to take the leap. She began typing about their friendship, sharing how they had navigated the distance and how important it was to support each other. She wrote about their adventures and the joy they found in the little things. The words flowed easily, and she felt the weight lift off her shoulders. As she typed, Emily thought about how their friendship was a source of strength. It reminded her of a warrior standing tall against challenges, fueled by hope and love. She knew that their bond could withstand anything, just like the heroes in the stories she loved to read. Once she finished her first post, Emily felt a rush of excitement. She quickly sent it to Sarah for her thoughts. "I did it. I wrote the first blog post. Yay, I can't wait to read it." Sarah replied almost immediately. Emily could hardly wait for Sarah's feedback. After a few minutes, she got a message back. "It's beautiful. You captured everything perfectly. Let's post it and share it with the world." With a racing heart, Emily hit the publish button. As the blog went live, she felt a mix of nerves and excitement. What if no one read it? But then she remembered that this wasn't just about the audience. It was about sharing their story and staying connected. Over the next few days, they continued to write together. They shared stories about their lives, dreams, and even